really want them to be proud of what they've accomplished and to know what they've contributed to not only our family, but the city. Hi, I'm Jeanette. I am the front of house operations manager at Yetong Restaurant.
And I'm Joanna, and I am the head chef at our restaurant.
Our parents opened up Yetong in 1986, so our restaurant is almost 40 years old.
Well, my parents came to Canada in the 70s, and at that time they were leaving India. And just for my mom, it was like a very hard place to grow up. If you're female there and you're Chinese, it's just like a lot of like cultural, I guess, expectations of you. So as a female over there, you weren't really allowed to like be liberated or be on your own. So she really wanted to bring her two daughters, which was Emmy and Tracy, here to Toronto so that they could have a better future. And that's how my parents came to Toronto. Okay, how did the restaurant start? So my father was working like a lot of different shifts at different companies, and he was just doing like production line, and he wasn't very fascinated with it. He felt like he had no purpose, so he really wanted to have his own business. So he wanted to open up a restaurant. So I think back then, especially for like Asian males, there wasn't really much opportunity elsewhere from working production lines or working in the restaurant. And he wanted to work for himself, but he didn't know how to go about doing that. So both my parents went to a restaurant one day, which was Yetong Restaurant, and that used to be owned by a Hakka Cantonese man at that point from Hong Kong. And they were just eating there. My dad was just explaining that he wanted to have a restaurant. And then my mom is very, very captivating, and she's like very personable. So she was speaking to the owner, and the owner said, I would really like for you guys to have this restaurant. And she's like, I'm really happy where I am right now. Like, I'm going to get a pension. A restaurant is not something that I really want to do. But my father was really gung-ho about it. So they decided to purchase the restaurant. And after a couple of months, they realized that they needed someone to take care of the business side of things, because it's very, very difficult to do as a one-man job. So my mother joined later on, and then they started the restaurant together.
I'm May, is Joanna and Jeanette's mom. Joanna was born just a few months after when she was born. That's when I was made the offer to take over the restaurant. The first thing I really experienced was hard work, because coming here as an immigrant, you do have to work. You're a dishwasher, a cleaner, you're everything in one, put it that way. So it's really hard. Joanna is the one that always follow me. She doesn't like going babysitting. So she tag along every day to work, because there's no school for her. It's not 4 years old. So she stayed, but she was very nice. She stayed at the right place, just drawing and spending time.
I was working as a reporter, and Joanna had already come back to the restaurant. Mom and Dad were thinking about retiring, and I was just kind of overdoing reporting. They sent me to do a story. There was a body bag. I didn't want to do it anymore, so I called my dad and said, I want to come back home. And Dad was supportive, and Joanna was already taking over some of the operations in the kitchen. So I called Joe and said, like, I've always kind of wanted to come back into the family business. I want to run it. Mom and Dad are thinking about retiring. Let's do this thing together. Mm-hmm. And Joanna told me no. She didn't think that I was ready or committed to do it. And somehow I kind of just forced my way back in, and now here we are.
Yeah, I'm trying to think how I started. I think at that time, my dad had his first heart attack. Mm-hmm. I was always in love with the restaurant. I just grew up in it. What was it? No, I guess I just came back because like Mr. Kin, who's our friend of the house manager, everyone's just kind of like family. So I didn't really want to leave it. Yeah. That time was difficult. I think at that point my mom was really burnt out as well too. But my dad had his first heart attack, and he bounced back actually really fairly quickly. I think he was back to work in like a week. We tried to keep him at home, and he really didn't want to stay at home. So he came back, and then I think at that point we just started to realize that this is just not sustainable.
And it was so turbulent that he kicked her out of the restaurant.
Yeah, we got into a really big fight. Yeah. But actually, because of that, though, that's what sparked my passion for food. So basically what had happened was my dad was working the line and I was working in there as well too. The food wasn't coming out quick enough and I was pushing them really, really hard. Like, we need to do this faster. And then he was like, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know anything about the kitchen. You're never going to make it in here. And then he's like, get out of my kitchen. And then I was like, F you. I'm gonna show you how good I am. And then I went to culinary school, worked for a couple of restaurants after that, and then came back when my dad, had his stroke. Yeah, that's what happened. Chili chicken wasn't very appetizing for some people because just the name itself really scared them. So he wanted to introduce Manchurian chicken. Well, moms thought, why don't we introduce Manchurian chicken? And they introduced Manchurian chicken to one police officer, and then they told all the other cops about it around the area, and then that really picked up, and then they started to make sales on Manchurian chicken.
And they really wanted to pay homage to foods from back home. So there was virtually no other Hakka restaurants in the city. And it was important for them to serve foods from back home because people from back home didn't have somewhere to go to eat our foods. So that's kind of also essentially why mom and dad really wanted to introduce the food into the city.
We have the Indians, the Chinese Hakka that comes here. They love the chili chicken, but not for the Canadian. So when the cops told me, oh, it's too spicy, mate. So I said to Michael, why don't we tone it down? The same texture, but change it and put ginger in it, which is the Manchurian chicken. And it's less spicy. So I said, you know what? Let's try that. And then he goes, what are we? We didn't say Manchurian then. Then he said, what name should I give it? I said, I don't know. Then he was looking at the warrior, the Chinese warrior picture, the statue that we have, the worship God. He looked at him and he goes, oh, the face is so red. You know what? Let's name it Manchurian. And that's how I go, why would you name it Manchurian? Because he said in Manchu, the face, the goddess warrior. And that's when we brought in, I go, oh, that's a weird name. But then anyways, if he likes it, to go for it. So that's how. And the cops tried it, but less spicy. He goes, wow, that's great. That's from the 52 division. And that's how we started the Manchurian chicken. I still do feel that, being especially girl, not a woman, a girl coming out to do. Joanna wasn't married then, so a girl ordering the chef to do this and do that, it's still very difficult, especially again in the Chinese industry, because the mentality is totally different.
I think what our parents created was something very special for our community. It was a way to introduce people to our culture through food. And because we've been around for so long, it really has created a community. So a lot of people in the area, or a lot of the people that come, end up becoming friends to us. They end up becoming a second family to us. All of our team members, they've been with us for so long that, sorry, I always get emotional when I think about this. The legacy is to keep it going and to be able to continue to introduce people to our culture, our food, and to take care of the team that have stayed here with us for so long. If we weren't around, I just worry about what would happen to our team who have stuck by us for so long. They've helped our family do something special in the city. And in return, I think we've been able to kind of be a pillar in the community. So if we weren't here, I just worry about what that means, where people would go, what everyone would be doing. Hopefully we'll be able to stick around for longer.
Legacy is when you have a business or you have a community and you built it and then it still perseveres after you're gone. So I think that's what we kind of want to do is just keep this going so that someone else who's just as passionate as we are will continue this on and there's still going to be a place for other people to come visit.
And for our parents, I really want them to be proud of what they've accomplished. I think recently a lot of people have been paying attention to us girls, this new generation taking over, but I don't think our parents got a lot of the credit that they deserved. They put in so much hard work into it that I want them to see their recipes survive, and I really want them to be proud of themselves and to know what they've contributed to not only our family but the city.
Yeah. I think for Jeanette, just as a daughter, she wants them to be proud. I think you maybe sometimes forget though that they already are proud of the product that they have. And I think the long lines and people coming after all these years and like 4 generations of the same family coming every single week is, you know, is what makes them proud.
Yeah.
So I don't think they necessarily need all the accolades for it, which is probably why they still come to work every single week.
True.
Yeah.
I just want them to see it busy like it was, to be what it was back in the day. And I really want to do that for them.
Oh boy, I don't know. Okay, let's see. Wait, I'll see. Give me time. Just to tell Joanna and Jeanette, I can see it's very hard work. It's a lot of hard work, a lot of time that you're spending at the restaurant. Um, I know that you have been trying very, very hard to show me that you can do it. And I can see that they did, in some aspect, really tried hard and did the best they can. And I'm hoping that the two of them, in the long run, will be more successful than me and your dad. And I would say I'm really proud of you. Really, really proud.